So in today's episode, let's talk about how the Galaxy Note line could be dead very soon, how we know literally everything there is to know about the Pixel 5, and how the iPhone 12s could be launching a little sooner than we initially thought. This is Gadget Snap. So we get a pretty interesting report from Mari PhD about the S and Note line merging together. So he predicts it should be happening in 2021 or 2022, and what I think Samsung will do is keep the regular S models, the S20 and the S20 Plus, and their successors the same, but then the Ultra model becomes the Note, because anybody buying the Ultra is usually a power user, and the Note would be perfect for them. Obviously, this is a rumor, it's not confirmed, and I'm assuming Samsung is still in the discussing stage, but I would love for this merger to happen because it just makes sense. The Note line has been so similar to the S line for the last few years that there's just no point having a whole separate line. Just combine them and make everything simpler. So yeah, Samsung, if you're listening for some reason, merge the two lines together ASAP. Listen to me, you can trust me. I am an expert in all things business, and just do what I say. So as is run of the mill for Pixel devices, we now have renders of the Pixel 5 ahead of its September 30th launch, along with literally everything there is to know about this phone. So essentially, with the design, they've played it pretty safe this year. It's a Pixel 4a with ever so slightly thinner bezels, and that's not a bad thing because the Pixel 4a is undoubtedly the best looking Pixel ever to exist. So for them to base this design off that is a good move. I mean, anything's better than that hideous notch that was eating into the display of the Pixel 3 XL, and honestly, till this day, I still wonder how they even approved that design because it was all kinds of ugly. So at least, the Pixel 5 looks a little normal. As for the hardware, well, we got some details on that too. So it's got a 6-inch 90Hz display, IP68, aluminium and glass build, and then the best part, it's got an ultra-wide. Yes, you heard me right, a Pixel with an ultra-wide. I can't believe this, and I can't wait. You don't know how much this means to me, Google. Of course, as I said in yesterday's episode, which you can check out in the icon above, it will have the Snapdragon 765G, 8GB of RAM, and 128GB of storage, so solid stuff overall. I really like the Pixel 5, and I think I'm falling in love with it, because it is pretty much everything I've ever wanted in a Pixel phone, and for £600, it is insane value, so who knows, this might be my first Pixel. Who knows? I don't know. Nothing's set in stone just yet, but I'm thinking about it. I'm tempted. We'll have to see on the day of the launch if I actually pull the trigger and go for one, but yeah, I am super excited. So this really came out of the blue yesterday, but apparently, according to CEO of mobile provider EEMBT, the iPhone 12 could be launching in a few days. What? Obviously, the guy is probably waffling, but the interesting thing to note about this internal video where this piece of information was mentioned is that Eddie Q's here. Eddie Q from Apple is there with the EE staff, so does that mean it could be legit? I don't know. Yeah, I'm leaning towards this not being legit, and it really comes down to one factor for me. Apple loves creating momentum. Apple loves a little bit of hype. You see, even for the pretty boring event we just had with the new iPads and Apple Watches, Apple created hype. They had an emoji, they had ads, they had an event invite. They love all this hype for their products, and so if they're going to release something as big as the iPhone 12, you can be sure there'll be a lot of hype for it. There'll be so much momentum before the event, they'll gas it up, and then they'll release the products. And you know, the fact they haven't done any of that and they're going to be releasing these in a few days is unrealistic. What I do think this could be possibly referring to is the iPhone event being announced very soon. This would corroborate with a tipster from the Netherlands who had claimed that the iPhone 12s would launch on the 12th of October, and we already know that John Prosser had said that pre-orders for the iPhone 12 should begin on the 16th of October, so if you think about it, the stars start to align. Plus, if Apple were to announce the iPhone event now, it would tramp all over the hype for the Pixel 5 event, and I can see Timothy being a prick like that, so I guess we shall wait and see. And that is the end of today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, if you want to catch up on yesterday's episode, I'll leave it in the icon above. Main channel will be linked below, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya, peeps.